Okay. Let's make sure this is actually going. Okay. Don't know why it just lost it. Just server just crashed apparently. Just gone. Well, looks like we're back. Okay. So, this brought us to somewhere else. We were up here, and we were pulled the whole way to here. We're underneath the main city. And even more bizarrely, we're underneath the city of Lanedale. The same city I've yet to explore at this point. And deep beneath, we find ourselves approaching another Erdtree avatar. Yep, just the same strategy as ever. Yep. Alright. Yep. Nice. And that. Yep. Just let it melt. There's no point in making this harder on myself than it needs to be. Yep. After all, I know this plant's attacks. Yep. Now this attack you'll need to avoid. Oh, got me on that one. And got me on that one. And the diligence. Okay. Yep. And just stand back. Nice. Yep. Yep. Nice and simple. And there we go. Another Erdtree avatar down. And we get the staff of the avatar. Ceremonial staff depicting the Erdtree in its historic radiance, wielded by avatars who protect minor Erdtrees. The avatars, emerging in the wake of the Elden Ring shattering, were determined to protect the withering Erdtree's offspring. It makes sense. This is simply its attempt to preserve its species, so to speak. Though it's clear that That is a failing attempt. Still, every species will make the attempt to protect their own, and to include their survival into the future. Alright. And say hello to a variation of an enemy we've come to know. This is... Ah, crap, I forgot that second part. Boy, yeah. These are the ants. But, yeah. They now have these giant heads that act as shields. So, yeah, wonderful. Yep. Yeah, what you need to worry about is the second, because I completely forgot that the pullback on their head from pulling it out of the ground is an attack as well. But yeah. Say hello to the roots of the Erd Tree. A place where very few, if any, were ever going to see. What makes this area also a bit unique, you may have noticed the water here. Doesn't it look kind of weird? Well, we'll get into that again. I've talked about it before, but we'll get back to that another time. For now, let's keep taking a look around and walk along the routes and see if there's treasures or other things to be found hidden. Ah, there's an item on that branch up there. Nope, nothing up here. But yeah. Folks, these are the roots of the Erd Tree. And these roots that are said to absorb and take in all that dies. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, just a smithing stone. Makes sense. So the capital city, this is buried underneath it. And yes, that's exactly what it looks like. A flying ant. Yeah. They're obviously just protecting their dead. Alright. So let's put on Raven School and the Ancestor Spirit's Horn, so we get more FP back from killing. So this should help. Nice. And over here. Oh. Do they not officially be... Is it the way the programming is they're not allowed to officially fly over the gaps? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think they're officially allowed to fly over the gap, so we're relatively safe this time. Okay. Just be aware, not all routes will lead you where you want to go. And it's a tangled mess. Right. Still, sniping out those two probably was worth it. But yeah. Torrent helps you get around here, but Torrent is also somewhat of a liability, because that momentum can carry you straight off the edge if you're not careful. Oh. Lots of flying, guys. Alright. Huh. Yeah, this area lets you summon, because there's lots of enemies. But we actually skipped a whole area. How do you get... Because that's an exit. That's supposed to lead you out. Alright. Holy grace. Okay. Yeah, because there's a whole area... Like, we could advance over there, but... we'd have been skipping over this whole area. And there's a lot of reasons to not skip this area. As in, there's a lot of runes in here. Like, a lot. So, yeah. Come down over here. Here we go. This is utterly optional. But you'll want to do it. Because this is the ant's nest. Oh yeah. See those big ones with the bloated stomach? Watch this. Oh. Newman's Room. Alright. A unique item that you find only down here. For those curious, grace that dwells within the inhabitants of the land between, the lingering residue of gold, used to gain 12,500 runes. The Numen are said to come from outside the lands between, and are in fact the same stock as Queen Marika herself. Now, the funny bit is, as far as I can tell, that's other bull. If they came from outside the land between, why are there runes found in these giant ants? Were they being fed to them? Well, there's only one group we know of that has a lot of connections to these ants. And that would be the Nox. Yeah. Because the Noxians, as we saw in the city of Noxtella, they ride these ants. And oh. Well, this is gonna suck. Nope. There we go. As you can see, there are tons of these ants. But luckily, we can make somewhat short work of them. Nope. And another Newman's Room. Well, we can at least make fire pots to draw them out. Yep. Alright. Great for drawing out individuals. And our frost damage procs after only 2 hits. So between that and the fire pot, we should be fairly good. Nice. Actually, that gives us enough FP that we're able to deal with that. Nice. And no more falling from the ceiling, it looks like. And again, the last Newman's Rune and Runa. Yep. The bigger joke for me, and one of the things that I truly believe regarding the Newman is, no, I don't believe the Newman actually came from far away. The Newman are the Nox, just poorly covering for themselves. The Nox basically survived the Greater Will's attacks and attempts to kill them. And this is them trying to come back to the surface. Though I don't believe... Explaining the idea of that, I don't think Marika was aware of this. And wasn't made aware until she became Queen Marika and came in contact with the Elden Beast, where then the Greater Will took note. Elden Stars. An incantation, and a powerful one. This legendary incantation is the most ancient of those that derive from the Erd Tree. Creates a stream of golden shooting stars that assail the area. It is said that long ago the Greater Will sent a golden star bearing a beast into the lands between, which would later become the Elden Ring. So yes, we finally get an explanation of the Elden Beast versus the Elden Ring. And in fact, the Elden Beast becomes it after being somewhat tamed by Marika. My personal theory, the one I hold to, is that effectively Marika had to tame the Elden Beast when it was brought here. It was sent here on a mission to destroy everything the Newman had created, the new lives they had birthed. But Marika made the hardest choice she could, and used something ancient and more powerful than and more localized than the she used how do I want to put it? Effectively what she did is use the kiln of the first flame, the fire that the giants did. She offered up her first child, Melina, burning her to a crisp and using that power to weaken and cripple the Elden Beast, allowing her to forge it into an Elden Ring that she could control. Alright. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Mimic tier should have infinite FP, if I remember right. unlike us. So, yep. Okay. Magic Wind Blade. Okay. Yeah, it does. Okay. Alright. Nice. Go. Yeah, want to stay out of his Night Mist. Warming stones. Sniffing stones. Yeah, I thought so. It has infinite FP and it'll pump every spell you have. But if you only give it one, well, there you go. Still, it's useful. But that does mean not every... I'm pretty sure it means there's an ant still alive around here. Because it vanishes if it's killed every ant. If you've killed everything in that area. I thought so. Alright. Oh! Oh, wow. Oof. Ooh. That hurt. Alright. Let's see. Nice. Nice choice. Stars of Ruin. And they're just sitting here munching on more formic rock, using their stomach acid to create it. Okay. Well, let's see. Anywhere else we might have missed someone? No, keep looking. Have it? Ah! Here they are. Let's go for this one and with this. Ow. Yep. Nice. Oh, get out of it. Okay. 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 Oof. Now they're all deceased. Okay. Yep. So now the area is quiet and peaceful. I think we got most of this anyway. Yeah, that just leads back over there. Yeah, more formic rock from the ants. Now, deep underneath the city of Lanedale, we find an abandoned city. With water gushing from the roots of the Erd tree. And make no mistake, like, we're underneath the city of Lanedale. And these are the Erd tree's roots. This white water. Ah, more of those supposedly valiant gargoyles. And death blight spewing basilisks. Waiting out in the wings for us as we try to circumvent the gargoyle. Yeah. Though note, this clear white water is all flowing from the Erd tree. Which brings me to one of my crackpot theories. That the god of the dragons is being held here. That in fact, the god of the dragons was captured by the Noxians. Yep. 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 And that's... Oh, get out of the death blight, that's instant death. Okay. That one of the reasons the Greater Will is so upset with the Noxians and sought to crush them underground was simply due to the fact that they committed an act that was otherwise completely unacceptable. Well, in all respects unacceptable to the greater will, which is more than killing a god, harvesting one. Turning it into materials used for their alchemy. And that they use something that was normally used to process souls to capture a soul. In this case, they captured the soul of the god of the dragons. Thinking the dragons had betrayed their god, the Greater Will dispatched the Elden Beast as a meteor. Resulting in, well, the destruction of the Dragon Empire. Yep. But when destroying them didn't work, when sending that meteor to crush their cities underground only left them buried and not destroyed and dead, they dispatched other things, other threats. This city is the result of one of those threats, known as Estelle. We'll learn about it later. We've seen lesser versions of Estelle around. Natural born of the void. Because, like most areas in this game, stories tend to be twofold. There's the story of how it was, how it became, and then how it got to the situation it's in. And my oh my, this is quite a situation this place is in. Clearly belonged to the Noxians based on the architecture, but it came under attack and was destroyed far beyond any of the other places. And later on, the city of Lanedale requires this area to remain, though. The reason being is that the city of Lanedale is built upon the Erd Tree, and what powers it. And we found the map. Deep Root Depths. We find the map. And we find a lot of the secrets of this area. So the city was built by the Noxians, the people who populated the Eternal Cities. That's who built the place. But then, why is it destroyed, and who who's responsible. Alright. Another valiant gargoyle, broken and battered, but still holds to its duty. Many of them are broken. Many of them. Vacuum slice. It's clear that they were the guardians for this place. But it was hit by something even they could not withstand. Vacuum Slice, lost skill of ancient heroes. Hold the armament aloft to surround it with a shearing vacuum, then launch forwards a blade-like projectile. Usable on swords and axes. Well, we get to see more and more basilisks. They're truly all over the place, which is an indication that we're close to the Prince of Death. Once known as Godwyn the Golden, he's long since been fallen. Headless Guardians, but the gold variety, which means it was a point of honor for them to remain and serve, even in death. This was a blessed thing for them. Yep. Alright. It's kind of odd that they scream despite having no neck or head. Still. It's worth noting that every game in the Souls series, aside from Sekiro, I believe is connected. This is my active attempt to sew it all together. Alright. So, level up. Get some more HP. Let's see. Any fun spells we can use? Well, there's the Frost. Freezing Mist. Frozen Armament. Don't have the Arcane for Greater Oracular Bubble. Yeah, this place... Actually, you know what? That'll be more than enough for another level. Nice. Alright. There's a lot to see here. and a lot to process. And note that we're allowed to summon, because this area is quite dangerous and filled with all sorts of enemies. Make no mistake of that. Yeah. We'll go off the edge. He won't. Yeah, he gets to throw unlimited spears. Mausoleum Knight Greaves. And also note what we would know as perfume magic. They get to weep. The Valiant Golems wield. Oh yeah. Make no mistake. There's a lot to see here. I'm actually too far even for that. Yeah, and this is an excellent area to try and get to if you're starting to feel weak. Because the payout for almost every enemy up here is pretty good. There we go. Nice. Yeah, no, if you want some easy levels, getting here through the ants to give you the Newman runes, and then the payout for each of the enemies here, it's pretty good overall. And trust me, there's some real nice stuff in here. All sorts of goodies and little things to get. Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the dirty little secrets of the Golden Order. That again, this milky white liquid is all flowing in from the roots of the Erd Tree. Trust me, there's very likely a very good reason for that, but not one any of us really want to think about. Still, we did get something unique here. Let's see if he's too far gone for it. Because the person who would want to see the curse mark to study it was Roger. Roger's letter. I forgot to tell you, but it seems Dee has a younger brother. I heard he lies in a deep sleep in the aqueduct beside the eternal city of Nokron, and it's said he stood before the Prince of Death not far beyond that spot. So, he learned a lot before he went. And the Spellblade set. Glintstone Sorcerer Roger's Pointed Hat, a sign of heretical practitioner, strengthens your glintstone sorcery skills. Roger spent his entire life behaving with utter detachment. No one noticed the anger, grief, regret, or fear that existed along with it. He never made it known, but it's clear he suffered. Where are they? Well, let's see. If we do the Spellblade set, I know it's a lot lighter than ours, but why not? Carry on Roger's legacy. At least for a bit. I do love the coloration of it, though. Though personally, I think I'd get rid of the cape. There. Oh, silly, but still more mobile. Let's see. And of course, Roger's rapier. Might be a worthwhile investment. Still.
Greetings, are you here for spirit?
Alright. Well, we'll get the mimic stronger. As well as you. Okay. Don't have the materials for those, nor any of these. Cool. Yeah, that's a look. How about the Godskin Nobles? No, I'm pretty sure nope. I think we'll go with the Carrion Knight. I do really like the Carrion Knight set. It is just pretty solid overall. And I don't think we picked up anything.
Well, I took you for no matter, it's all as out your own.
Okay. Nox's Flowing Sword. Might as well. $261.
Back or no matter.
Ashes of War. Yeah. Staff of Loss. You can even put no skill on those, so you can use your melee. Interesting. Yeah, we can copy any skill we've seen. Or one we have already. So, Not too bad there. Like I said though, plenty to explain. Explore in the nameless eternal city. But yeah, you start in the Great Waterfall Crest, and down and out it comes. Still, at least that would explain. That's not the worst. But I'm not overly in love with it. Rogers only gets 173. Wow. Oh, it doesn't get a magic bonus, that's why. 405 for St. Trina. Moonvale is 447. Yeah. Make no mistake though, folks. This area is built from the ground up to frustrate you to no end. Human bone shards, unsurprisingly, as the corpses have all been raided and kicked out of the tombs, like the one that brought us here. And actually, there's another one. Another coffin. And where will this one bring us? Back down the falls, one would assume. And just like that. But where do we end up? I didn't see a you died. So it wasn't a trap. Instead, we wash up. In another new place. But a little closer to what we're more used to down here. The Ainsel River main. We've basically been washed upriver, or rather downriver, but upriver from where we started in Ainsel, where we fought our first Dragonkin soldier. A quiet, serene place, covered in silver fireflies. Oh, an item. A miniature Ronnie doll. Who would want that? A doll resembling Ronnie the Witch. From head to toe, every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. Indeed. Well, there's another lost grace. And we can see the Clayman, so nothing new here. Ah, but there is something else ahead. You can see one of those weird bugs that float upside down, that fling rocks at us. what to do. Honestly, we could go back up, but maybe we should stay here? Let's talk to the miniature Ronnie, see if it has any ideas. Nothing. Well, it is a doll. Surely the game is just being silly, and it's just a funny little thing you can do. I mean, really. It's kind of silly, isn't it? Talking to a doll? It's almost like talking to yourself. I mean, who does that for hours on end?
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Rani the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
So it was actually Ronnie, using a miniature form. She was already possessed a doll in the first place, as we've seen her corpse sitting upon the divine tower of Liurnia, so it makes sense that she would hop souls to a different path.
Perform for me. Eliminate the name of I will not.
Well, Lady Ronnie has given us a task. And we've proven before that we are up to many challenges. So, let's get to it. We have work to do. Alright. There we go. Nice. Yeah, they do hurt quite a bit. But... oh, the old palace ruins. We've been here before. And the bug just continues to shoot rocks at us. Alright. Nope. Apparently the Mimic Tier got killed already. Alright. Alright. It only seems to be able to hit me a few times, so... yep. We got a somber smithing stone 7 for our troubles. Now, I mentioned before that these are that this is from a boss called Estelle, and that boss particular is known for that these are all lesser versions. Though that might not necessarily be true. Another explanation might be that they're copies created. Because one thing that we have seen, Morgoth, the king of the current Morgoth, the Oldman king, is able to create copies of himself and send them all over the area. We bought a copy back in Stormvale Castle. So one could reasonably wonder if Estelle is doing the same, simply creating copies and dispatching them where it might catch something of its interests. Because I consider the Elden Beast and Estelle one and the same, largely. Alright. Yeah. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, because I believe that's Frenzy. It's either Deathlight or Frenzy. Either way, it's basically an insta-gib. If you let it get too close, if you stand in it too much. Yep. Yep. And there we go. Yep. And let the mist flow and start to yield. Yep. Nice and easy. Ow. Yeah. Like, look how much damn HP these damn flowers have. Nope. Go away. Yeah, it's Frenzy. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Stone Sword Key, so it was kind of worth it. Red's Great Bow for the extreme range. Oof. Stars of Ruin. Not bad. Yeah, for just how cheap and rapid fire it is, Night Shards work fantastic. I do love that I run out of FP long before I run out of stamina with it. Alright. Ghost Glow Ward. Nope. This all was just a side passage, just to clear out and just make sure there's nothing else here. The lost parts of Old Palace. There is one thing that you should know about it. It's one of the few places we get to see these statues whole. And note several things about it. First, the tendrils that extend out from under their legs, indicating that they're not wholly human. Second, that they're clasping these stone tablets and are standing next to another. These stone tablets are symbolizing ancient knowledge. Knowledge not of the human world, shall we say. So, remember that tablets are where some ancient knowledge was kept. And human bone shards. No surprise. Still, chilling mist. Also note that the water here is clear. Unlike back upstairs in the city, like up in the city where it was more white and translucent. My personal theory is that these claymen were an early facet or an early manifestation of the Nox. Their earliest attempts at creating life, artificial life. Formic rock, which probably means there's ants nearby. Yep, because formic rock is created when they digest stone. Just so you're aware. So if you see formic rock around, there's more than likely some of these ants. Nice. Stimulating boluses, basically to keep you awake. Well, there's not that many enemies that actually use sleep on it. We'll see about we'll see about what happens with the DLC if those go up. Nice. And one of the flying ants. It's one of those head ones, shield heads, so we'll just not go that way just yet. Instead, we'll come over here. And reach one of the Eternal Cities. Nox Stella. Now this is where we get to see the ancient Nox preserved the sharpest and the clearest vision of how they live. But since we now have this here, let's head up and see where that ant would take us. And again, we have another second area that is absolutely massive that will allow us to get much more story. But bear in mind, none of this is necessary. I want to point that out and remind you that nothing I'm about to do will benefit you in your quest for the Elden Ring. Just so you're clear, none of this is necessary. First off grace, then seek behind. And here we find someone in a T-pose. More of those gravity sorcerers. And an upper area to a place we've been before. And another way to the Hermit Merchant. So I believe you drop down here, and then you can come back up and around. Alright. Yeah. Because one of the items you couldn't reach from below the Wing of Estelle. Sword fashioned from a delicate wing, suffused with the magic of the stars. Strong attack unleashes waves of enchanted light, crafted from a relic of the natural born of the void who is said to have assailed the eternal city. Imbue the natural born's wing with magic to send forth a dark cloud of stars that linger briefly before exploding. A quick weapon. A unique R2 that's freely releases magical waves. And then its actual power great against guarding enemies. And it does have both physical and magic damage. An ideal weapon for us. And a somber smithing stone. So, now that we have two areas, both Ainsel River and the Nameless Eternal City, let's actually return to the table. Because I'm curious how much, if I upgrade this wing, how much it'll hold up for us. Because this is a weapon I knew of, but I never really got to use, and I kind of want to.
Well, I took you for it no matter. Lay out your arm.
Alright. It's +7. I probably Okay, well, let's do the math. That'll be up to 145 to 121, 136 to 162. So technically, the Moon Veil still works out better in damage. EB. Mostly because it ends up having a B scaling for intelligence versus the C scaling further on the wing of that stele. Okay, it takes a little longer to get to the B scaling, but still. The advantage, though, being that it can actively do a wave attack just on the R2. So, back to the Einzel River, Noxtella, the Eternal City. So, yeah, it just has a free, and yeah, you can use it and stagger it. It's pretty good. And here we can see the Nox riding these ants. Their eyes purple for being controlled. By the way, if you... Nice. Not bad. Alright. And good damage on the staff. And finish him. Not bad. Yeah, I definitely liking the Wing of Estelle. But yeah. Noxtella. We hadn't gotten here yet, but I talked a bit about it. But note that the Nox remain, by and large, wearing very very covering clothes, preferring to hide their face. And the Night Maiden's Mist. Obviously, we've been taking advantage of it, but it's clear that we got it from. And naturally, yep. Nice. And this is an actual chest that they were guarding. It's skull plate. It's actually a great shield. Causes poison buildup when you hit with it. Huge head of one of the giant ants which inhabit the 2 underground rivers. Used without modification as a shield, excels at repelling enemies' attacks. Giant ants are venomous creatures, granting a boost to immunity when wielding this shield. So yeah, one of the key points is that they're venomous creatures, but the Nox have learned to control them. You'll notice that their eyes are purple when they're being ridden. This is because that this is whatever spell that they use causes them. And there we see the slimes keep coming after us, but they keep exploding. So, they kind of sabotage themselves. But again, these slimes don't have the capacity for self-preservation. They're not made for that. They're made to serve a purpose, and if destroying themselves was what it took, they'd do so without hesitation. The Nox created them as little more than fodder. Alright. Cannon of Haima. Let's see how you all like this. Nah, okay. Ooh, broke its guard for once. I think that's the first time I've ever done that. But yeah. Yeah. A protoform of Legion. So the Nox is the ones we have to thank for that loss. Makes sense. Nothing would naturally evolve like that. And actually, another thing. The Night Maiden. The statues here. A Night Maiden that is being served and passing messages along by these messengers below. Because I'm sorry, the resemblance is too close. There's no way that those aren't the messengers from Bloodborne. They may not play a part until much later, but it's clear what they are. I thought so. Look, I can hear one. Oh. Yeah. Another hidden item. Plenty of secret treasures down here in Nextala. Silver tear husks. Golden rune 10s. Alright. There you can see a huge iron ball. As we know, those are usually just mimics. Oh, it's coming, so let's get inside quick. Before it traps us here. But first, we'll have to deal with... two of them. Ow. Yeah, that mace of theirs is brutal. Ow. Yeah. Nox Monk Armor. Where is it? Commoners, Festive. Alright, just gotta go one by one. completely spaced out on what it looked like. We'll come back to it. I want to get rid of the ball. Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny. It's a sentient ball. So it's a living Indiana Jones trap. That is actively hunting you. But it's also a giant ball. It's a mimic copying a giant ball, rather. Yep. The larval tear, which is the organ that allows the mimics to be reborn again and again. Night Maiden and Sword Mistress. They are... an old puppet crafted in the Eternal City, used to summon the spirits of a Night Maiden and Swordstress. These sisters, members of a cold-blooded race who wield flowing weapons, became puppets of their own volition. So this puppetry is a similar vein to what the ashes allow, which is the creation of something that enables them to live beyond death, so to say, and continue to fight. And as we can see, the statues are all of Nox monks, Nox swordstresses. Unsurprising, this is their city, and those they kept in bondage. And yes, a nice fun little trap. And more larval tears. And hidden in here, another item of key importance. Great Ghost Glowvort, which enables you to max out one of your summons. So having access to it is quite nice. Yep, not much here, but just being thorough. And further up, from where the ball came the first time, more golden runes, no surprise. And the temple at the top. Looks like there's something there. Ah, another ball. And more slimes. And yet even more. start exploding and hurting each other and chain react. Yeah, and there's a lot of them in here. This was the grounds where they were experimenting with creating, I imagine, and developing new forms for the series. Alright. And now here it comes. Yep, and it does just roll over its own comrades. Nice. It's kind of adorable that it's just that bad they're doing this. Oh wow, it's taken almost all the damage it can yet. Alright. Nice. Well, at this point, go the Demon Souls route. You just start chucking firebombs. And finally, a Night Shard. Oh, what the hell? And there we go. And now, through it all, what were they hiding in the very back? More somber smithing stones. Larval tears. And the path up to yet another temple. And one of the bugs gets us. Can't complain. More equipment upgrades is always welcome. Oh yeah, because that's just going to be that simple. One more Swords Mistress and two slimes. But they're letting us summon. Yeah, no, it's not going to be that simple. Oof. Man, oh man. Summoning that mimic, it almost kills you. Alright. So what do they turn into? Yeah. They turn into the... Yeah. Alright. Yep. Yep. There we go. So he's done. Well, it is more likely. Is probably the more suitable term. There we go. Alright. Alright, that went too far and you got the Mimic unsummoned. But, such is the way of things. And unfortunately for you, without them, you don't stand much of a chance. And under the chair crypt, once again, for the seat of those giants. The moon of Noxtella. Increases your memory slots. The legendary talisman is a treasure of Noxtella, the Eternal City. The talisman represents the lost Black Moon. The moon of Noxtella was the guide of countless stars. That's the moon that also Ronnie is known for. The Dark Moon. The moon when no light shines upon it. And that's sort of the end of that upwards path. That doesn't mean we've seen all of what Noxtella has to offer, only that this is what we have. Only with what this is what has been shown so far. Yep. Luckily, we have the advantage of distance and positioning, so this shouldn't be a major thing. Come on. There. There, that should be plenty. Nice. Not you, you. Quick. There we go. Okay. So, we should be able to drop down here. And as you can see, these still attack you. But yep. Up. Ow. Yeah. Though it's interesting that these guys use lightning damage in their death. With the focus of magic damage so much, you wouldn't expect it out of the Nox, but it seems their mastery of powers extends farther than you did think. And this actual elevator actually brings us down, even further down. Down, underground. Where straight to another ant's nest, probably where they harvested them from. Nice. So there's our 30. Puts us at 994. Oh. Ronnie has something to say to us?
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Empyrean, of the demigods. Only I, Nicola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers, as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe, in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I stole the rule of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing. The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassins. Even when I turned my back upon the two fingers, Blythe remained my loyal ally. Though he was created a vassal for an Empyrean, he was a colossal failure on the part of the two fingers, Blythe and E.G. both. Art willing to give too much to me, yet they both understand what lieth beyond the dark path, that I must betray everything and rid the world of what came before. Should I add thee to the list? Another one, kind of heart. As kind of heart as they. This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou'st heard. I've let slip, forget what...
So we're clear on what Ronnie just said. She's effectively admitting that what her path will do is destroy this world. It will end everything. Her path basically means we abandon this world, and all that came before is rendered null and void. E.G. and Blythe are both willing to sacrifice everything to bet on her. Which, as she said, might be willing too much. Still, and as we see, there's more of these. No matter what, I either get two fully charged or a third. Yep, get out of it. Yeah. Smithing stones, always welcome. Seek friend. The baleful shadow, the one who's hunting Ronnie.
O shadow, thou art the last. Tell the two fingers that Ronnie the witch cometh to rend thy flesh with a fateful wound, ne'er to heal.
Well, clear it's made in this image of life. And it's... oh! A wound never to heal. How many chugs you got? Nightmane's Mist is just that useful. Basically weakening them, so once we start having to give into the melee, I don't have to worry about it as much. Alright. Ow. Yeah, as you might expect. Nope. Yeah, yeah. Almost every one of their big lunges is just half to full damage. They're adept swordsmen. Yep, here we go. Got the roll timing wrong. Still not used to it. Still not quite used to their roll timing. Alright. You know what? Let's go Moonveil. Rather than that, Stargazer. Yeah, what the hell? Give us a little more oomph. Nice. Yep. I think these. Yeah. Wait for it. Positioning. There we go. Nice. Damn. Okay. Yep. There we go. Yep. Alright. Yeah, that That wild swing is actually one of their weak... Nope. Nice. They're definitely nowhere near as competent as Blagas himself. Oh. Oh, it did hit it. Nice. Nope. Nope. Alright, getting better about that swing. Yeah, no. Nope. Ow, staggered. Okay. Nice. Alright. Nope. Okay, at least it just caught on the shield. Nope. And got the counter. Okay. Alright. Nope. Alright. Nice. Yeah. There we go.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe and E.G. I love them.
Discarded palace key. So Ranni goes on to fulfill her destiny. Though it's worth noting, she has quite the journey ahead of her still, as what lies ahead is a place quite unfortunate, the Lake of Rot. And if you check your inventory, of course, the mini Ranni doll is gone. She's gone. Oh no. A doll resembling Dani the Witch from head to toe, every detail's perfect. The chilliness is gone, feeling now like an empty husk. There is no response. Indeed, she's moved on. Her soul moved to the next vessel she needed. Remember, Ranni only died in physical form. But here we have an area that I truly believe embodies Melania. The Lake of Rot. Because I truly believe that this area was once a regular lake. And this would be the first time Melania lost control of her powers, transforming what was a simple underground area into this monstrosity. This mass of seething, roiling ichor. Ladies and gentlemen, we now face the first bloom. Caelid was the second. That's how Melania knew what power lay within her, and that, should the worst come to worst, she could always unleash it. And probably everyone was shown this, an idea of just how powerful she was. Because if you'll notice, we're under still the Lake of Liurnia. And it's somewhere around here where there's a monument that states that Melania started her march up here in the south, up here in Lake of Liurnia, defeated Godric here in the Limgrave, and then went east to face Radagon. Unfortunately, that fight brought her to a standstill, and she was forced back. So she retreated to the Holic Tree. But if she blooms one more time, it's said that she will become a goddess. Something no one, a goddess of rot, no one would want that. Still, just another place to be. But I think that's good for tonight. We got through more of Ronnie's story, and got a bit more context on her. Still, there's plenty more to see underground. And maybe next time, or another time, we'll finally go and enter the main city. But that will have to wait. So thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this has been more of me being back on my bullshit about the story of Elden Ring. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.